Hello, gremlins. From the bedroom. You can already see my hand. Behold her. So at the end of that video, the last vlog, I was really vague about what happened. And now I can officially tell you what happened because I have gone to how many appointments? There was the one I went to on Monday, so that was the ER. Then I went to an appointment on Tuesday, and then Thursday, and then I had surgery on Friday. So I can tell you what's happening. So Monday, while I was doing snow removal, I have mentioned this. We get plowed in consistently by the city. They insist the snow has to go somewhere. We're at the corner. We get a lot of snow. So there's a lot of snow. It sometimes clogs, for me at least, our snowblower. And normally I have no issues. Like, I can clear it. Everything is fine. On Monday, apparently when I thought the machine had powered down, it didn't power down all the way and my hand was in the chute. So if you've never snowblowed before, you probably still know what a snowblower looks like fundamentally, but there's the big long like tubey thing that shoots the snow in the air. So snow was not being shot, it was just kind of falling out of it. And so I went to like lift snow out of it because I thought the machine was off. Machine was not off, and some piece of metal, because I was like explaining where my hand was and the doctor was like, oh, it's this thing, so probably not the auger but this other thing, still a piece of metal moving very quickly in a machine, hit the top of my hand and took off. Krista is giving puppies some cereal while she eats breakfast behind me, and it took off the top, so we'll use my non-injured hand, the top joint of my middle finger. So this, sorry, I'm not flipping you off, I'm genuinely just explaining. So from like this point up, got knocked off. And then on my ring finger, I lost about half the ring finger. And so that happened. I was outside, I yanked my glove off, I wrapped it around my hand because I was bleeding. I ran inside to call Krista. I was not in the best headspace, so I apparently very horrifyingly was just like, I cut off my fingers! So Krista rushed home to take me to the ER. And I got to the ER, they gave me a tetanus shot, they cleaned them. They tried to get me in for surgery on Monday, but the hand surgeon slash orthopedist who was working that day had already left, so there was no way to get him back. He was already done in surgery for the day. So I had a follow-up on Tuesday at the same office where Krista got her hand looked at, and they re-cleaned it. So I left the ER with a little bit of pain medication, a bunch of antibiotics. They gave me pain meds and antibiotics while I was waiting, plus the tetanus shot. They wrapped me completely up, and then on Tuesday they took off everything at the orthopedist office. They looked at it. They also did x-rays while I was at the hospital, but like x-rays in my bed. Like they brought like an x-ray machine in, which I didn't expect because when you broke your hand, they made you walk to x-ray.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so I was so confused, but they brought like a mobile x-ray station in to do...
I wasn't actively bleeding.
That's true. I guess maybe they didn't want me to bleed on the fancy equipment because she gave me like a pad I had to put my hand on. So yeah, so like also apparently if you lose parts of yourself, the ER really wants to get you in the back because we waited
8 hours.
8 hours for Krista to get any help at the ER, and I was in and out in an hour? 2 hours? And that included like x-rays, getting an IV in me, like doing a billion things to get me like started in the process. Tuesday I went to the orthopedist office. They cleaned, they rebandaged. The actual surgeon wasn't there, but his PA was, or one of his PAs. Apparently he has at least two. But I had a different PA than Krista had, which was good because this PA was really nice. But he went over everything and he was like, yeah, you're definitely gonna have surgery, but we'll have Zavante, that's the doctor's name, look at it on Thursday and he'll give you a plan. And I was like, okay. So we went back Thursday. We met with Zavante, who did Krista's hand surgery. And he was like, oh, no, this is definitely, like, you could have done way worse damage. Because I saved the knuckle on my middle finger, like the upper knuckle. Again, not flipping you off, I'm just explaining, like this little bendy part right here, which means my tendon was still secured. And then I didn't go very far down on this one. He was like, oh, well, your ring finger will just be a little shorter, and my middle finger definitively would have been shorter regardless. But he was like, this is all easily fixable in surgery. I could be sewn up. Also, this is a little gross, but I had a tiny bit of additional skin or tissue on my middle finger that the ER like protected.
You guys have the same eyes, and then you just did the same mannerism at the exact same time.
Chloe and Parker are begging for food, but the ER had saved tissue that was still connected, but not like horribly damaged, and wrapped it with my wound. And so on Tuesday they'd done the same thing. They just wrapped it again, and the doctor was like, oh, this is great, I can use that, which was the ER's hope. They were like, oh, we're saving it, like we're just gonna protect it with the rest of your finger. So the doctor was mad though, because I had waited until Thursday to see him, but he does a clinic and like on-call surgery, right, on Tuesdays. He works at a different hospital on Tuesdays, but that hospital would still have been covered under our insurance because he's covered under our insurance. And he was mad that on Tuesday, no one sent me to his other hospital. Because he was like, I could have done all of this on Tuesday. Like, I could have seen her, I could have gotten this all figured out. So he got me into surgery on Friday. I also, because I have horrible asthma, did not want to be put under. Because anesthesia and asthma is scary. So I did all of it locally, which is why there's some extra bruising on my hand, because I had to be injected with enough lidocaine to really swell my hand up. But yeah, so Friday we went in. I was awake. The doctor was very chatty and was showing me everything that was happening to my hand as we went. They cleaned it up. I am stitched. Now I will say, if you've seen, like, I feel like this was the thing I learned, and I'm just saying this to you, because didn't it seem like initially they weren't going to put any stitches in my ring finger, they were just going to let it heal.
You were treated better and given concierge service and had a TV, and
everyone was really nice to me. I had a TV, they brought Krista soda, they helped me do my pre-surgery prep. Yeah, it was very nice, and I felt really bad because Krista had a horrible experience. But no, I was going to say, like, in movies and stuff, when they show someone getting, like, an amputated wound sewn up, it's normally, like, the whole thing is sewn up. Like, it's, like, super, like...
Grey's Anatomy has lied.
Yeah, it's, like, super clean, super... No, he showed me everything as we were going, but what they hope for is just that you'll heal and there will be scar tissue. So you're sewn as best they can without damaging the skin, the tissue. So, like, if... Initially, they weren't going to put anything in my ring finger because he was like, oh, if I sew that too tight, because I still have part of a nail, he was like, that could damage your hand. Like, it could damage the finger because you can't put, like, big stitches in. You can't just kind of, like, stitch a thing closed. You have to take into account, like, healing, and you don't want to make the stitches too tight. You don't want to pull on the skin too much. You don't want to damage tissue. You also can't have, like, bone immediately under the skin. So he was like, no, we have to, like, make sure that there's tissue to protect you so you're not in pain. Yeah, so, like, I'm sewn, but the wounds are still in some capacity open. Like, parts of my skin are not fully attached because they just have to scar and heal normally. So that's what's going on under here. I will be gauzed up probably for 2 to 3 weeks, I think, because my stitches don't come out for 2 to 3 weeks. So I'll probably be in something like this for 2 to 3 weeks. I go Friday for my post-op, so I'll take all of this off, they'll look and see how everything's doing, and then we'll go from there. I also have to at some point do physical therapy, but my physical therapy will be way different and less intensive than Krista's, because mine will just be like getting the scar tissue built up so that I can, like, use my fingertips or the created tip on the ring or on the middle finger. So yeah, and because of that, I have not used a camera. I've just been in bed. We've watched a lot of shows. I'm on pain meds and antibiotics every 6 hours. So I wake up at 3 a.m. and 9 a.m. and I had a doctor's note from the ER that I sent to my manager at work because I was like, hey, the ER says that I can't come back until Monday, because literally the guy at the ER was like, you're gonna have to go to the orthopedist at least once. He was like, probably twice, and have surgery. He was like, I'm really sure you're not gonna be able to work this week. And I also can't type. Like, I can't type with this hand. I can't use this hand for any work thing because it's supposed to be elevated, so it's not like I can, like, put it down and try and use it. which I had to explain because I was like, I can't use my right hand at all. So like typing is going to be difficult anyway this week. But I go back on Monday, and we'll see how that goes because I genuinely will not be able to use this hand. It's just gonna have to like sit on my desk. So yeah, but that's what's been going on. According to the ER, I amputated parts of my fingers. At least it was just these two, the middle finger, the long finger is apparently what they call it. It doesn't necessarily do a ton of things by itself. You though do need your ring finger for grip strength with your pinky.
Yeah, ring finger, very important.
Yeah, that's the finger Krista broke, and she's still having issues because it healed at an angulation. Mine should be fine once it's like healed. He just said like it's not that bad. I'm just missing a little bit of my tip, and once it heals, it shouldn't be an issue. But you need it for grip strength with your pinky. So he was like, oh yeah, this is fine. The middle, he was like, it just won't look cosmetically pretty, but like it'll function correctly just without a tip. So everything is functional. I still have my index ring or index pinky and thumb, and I mean the index and the thumb are pretty important, so I'm glad these two are okay. But yeah, so it's been a lot, and I feel horrible because Krista is still going through PT, and now I need her to do everything because I literally can't use this hand. I can do some stuff. I'm just not as useful right now because I can't get this wet. Also, it snowed today, and I can't do snow removal. She can't really do snow removal. So we're really hoping that our neighbor does snow removal for us because he knows what happened. Krista went over because we needed help with a box. Like, we got 2 furniture boxes. Was it bookshelves? I think bookshelves. Yeah. And they were 2 people pickup, and like I couldn't even lift them when they showed up before this happened. So she went and asked him, and then he was like, oh yeah, what? And like, where'd you guys go? Because like we rushed off to the emergency room, and I left the snowblower in the middle of the driveway. And so Krista was explaining, and my glove that I was wearing is on the porch still, and it's not pleasant to look upon. So he saw that and apparently almost threw up. So yeah, sorry, I'm making sure our TV doesn't go to sleep. We're gonna watch Holiday Baking Championship because Parker likes it, actually, a lot. He's a big fan. But in terms of books, because this is technically Vampire Academy Part 2, I finished Blood Promise while all of this was going on because I couldn't sleep on Monday night. I haven't even read you the summary. I'm not going to read you this one. I will just tell you that in this one, Rose leaves St. Vladimir's Academy. She completely drops out because she needs to find Dimitri. If you didn't watch the other video, there was an attack on the school. Dimitri was taken by the Strigoi, and he has been turned. So Dimitri is a Strigoi, and she's like, he would never want to be a Strigoi. He would want me to kill him. So Rose heads off to Russia. Technically, like, Siberia, but it's Russia. She winds up in different parts of Russia. To kill him. And make him just... You can't go from Strigoi to Moroi again, according to what everyone believes is true. So she's hunting him down. It turns out that, like, he's actually pretty high up in the Strigoi, even though he's recently turned, because his trainer from ages ago is a Strigoi who's building an empire. So that's a whole thing. We meet his family. We also meet... Oh gosh, what is her gosh dang name? It starts with an S. Am I gonna remember? It's been a bit since I read this.
Okay, can you eat like mashed potatoes? This is the test of a true runner.
Hold on. Sydney. Yeah. So in this, we meet Sydney, who is part of the Bloodline series. And we learn that there are alchemists who can make...
You cannot eat like mashed potatoes. That is a mashed potato fail.
You have cereal all over you now, don't you?
Milk.
Oh no! But Sydney is an alchemist. Alchemists do a lot of things, but they are bound to Moroi society with like these tattoo things. And we meet a man named Abe, who says he's been sent to find Rose, and he actually controls the alchemy section of their society. Sydney hates being an alchemist. She did not want to be an alchemist. She hates Moroi, she hates Dampire, she hates Strigoi, she hates everybody. Because she actually says that they are evil undead, all of them, not just the Strigoi. Basically, they're just evil and an affront to God. So that's an interesting take. But we learn about the alchemists. They're like a secret thing. You're apparently supposed to learn about them at graduation, but Rose dropped out. While all of this is going on, besides meeting like Dimitri's family, Rose is like hunting Strigoi in general. A lot of things happen. She gets taken captive basically. Hi Park. Hello. Hi. I don't have any foods. Okay. She gets taken captive. Dimitri wants to turn her, which is a big thing for him. She just wants to kill him, but that gets difficult because there's some biting and some, like, I'm gonna call it venom involved. So she's basically drugged out a touch. What else? We also see stuff that's happening with Lissa because Rose is checking in on her periodically. And someone has come to school named Avery, and she's like, my dad made me come here, blah, 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 and she's like really annoyed. And we get some court, like vampire court stuff. But what's happening is while Avery is there, Lissa starts making really weird decisions where she's like drunk all the time. She's doing things very recklessly. She kisses a guy that's not Christian. Like all of this wild stuff is happening. And it turns out that Avery is not an air user, like she says. She is actually another spirit user. We meet a lot of spirit users in this. We meet a blood-kissed couple in Russia who help Rose. We meet Avery, who has managed to shadow kiss 2 people and is using them as like power sources. But she's trying to like turn Lissa, like kill her.
No.
Far. Chill.
Don't lay on your sister. Dear God.
He's very big. Oh, Brittany's barking. I'm almost done. But Rose has to, from a distance, save Lissa because Avery is trying to kill her and make her a shadow kissed something, because if she has her, she thinks she'll be ultra powerful. What else? We also hear that there's a rumor that you can turn a Strigoi back to a Moroi. And the only one that could help figure that out is a Dashkov. We also learned that Abe is secretly Rose's father! Dun dun dun! Yes, I'm giving you lots of spoilers.
I was like, what the hell?
I'm talking a lot, sorry. What else? I'm almost done. We find that out, and then Rose gets a mysterious letter from Dimitri, who she thought she killed on a bridge, and he fell in the water, but he didn't die. Again, dun dun dun! So, where we've left off is Rose will be going back to school with Lissa, presumably to be her guardian. Dimitri, not dead. But we now know that the Dashkovs may or may not be able to turn a Strigoi back into a Dampire or Moroi. I don't know how that works. Because it was like, turn them back into something. And I was like, but he drinks blood now, so would he be a Moroi? I don't know. But that is where we are. So this, I guess, I don't know if this Bloodline series was supposed to start like around when this started, or if it actually started earlier in the timeline. I don't know. This feels like a good book to introduce Sydney and then be like, and the Alchemists. I'm not that interested in the Alchemists, admittedly, so I'm not gonna read that series, I don't think. But also, I did enjoy this one. Did not want to throw it across NIHOP. So who freaking knows what book I wanted to throw across NIHOP at this point? I feel like my mind has betrayed me. Maybe it's somewhere she left to go stake Dimitri, but still, she said she was coming back, so I don't know. I really don't know. Also, if you hear a dog whining, it is Kira. She has peed in the house at least 6 times because she's very mad that we have not let her come up. And we brought Parker up a few times because we're trying to get him like to stretch out and have some time with us, because if he's not, he's normally in his crate. So like this is the best we can do as 2 functionally one-handed people. And she's mad that she's not up here. But she went in his crate because like she's in his crate right now and she hates it, but she keeps peeing because she's mad. So yeah, that's the whining if you hear it. But I finished this one. I'm moving on to Spirit Bound, which is book 5. Book 6 is huge. Let me try and read you this description. Okay, salvation has its price. After a long and heartbreaking journey to Siberia, Dimitri's birthplace, Rose Hathaway has finally returned to St. Vladimir's and to her best friend, Lissa Dragomir. It's graduation, and the girls can't wait for their real lives outside the Academy's cold iron gates to finally begin. But even with the intrigue and excitement of court life looming, Rose's heart still aches for Dimitri. He's out there, somewhere. She failed to kill him when she had the chance, and now her worst fears are about to come true. Dimitri has tasted her blood, and she knows in her heart that he is hunting her. And if Rose won't join him, he won't rest until he has silenced her. Forever. So yeah, that's the book I'm on. How big is this? Parker still smells breakfast sandwich on me and is trying to eat all my blankets. $4.89. So this one is shorter than Blood Promise. So I'm on this one. It's also really hard to write in my notebook where I track all my books. So all my handwriting looks like chicken scratch because I'm right-handed. So I'm doing my best with lefty over here. But yeah, I will update you when I read some, maybe. I'm not sure, but I do want to finish this and the last one. I think it's called The Last Sacrifice. Yeah, before the month ends. That'd be great. But I'm gonna go. We're gonna watch Baking Championship. I feel like it's focusing on Parker's face, which is cute. But we're gonna watch a show. I'm gonna finish my coffee. And I will talk to you later, gremlins, in a shorter update. Bye for now. Hello, gremlins. So my hand looks a little different. I am wearing the same hat though. So wild day. So surgery was Friday. I didn't like, I feel like going on book stuff, but I didn't really do anything over the weekend before that. The dogs are working at something, so I'll be quick. And then today is Monday. So I am freezing. My office is super cold, even though it's warmer outside than it has been in ages, which is really hurting my hand. But, so I have a post-op appointment scheduled for Friday the 28th. I was told to leave my surgical wraps on until the 28th. Turns out I needed to be a PT today. Like, I was supposed to have an appointment scheduled because you're supposed to meet with a physical therapist, like, at maximum 4 days after surgery. So, this would be my third day post-surgery. So, Krista had physical therapy for her finger injury that is still being rehabbed, this morning. And her physical therapist was like, hey, Catherine's supposed to see me. So Krista was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, they put in the order I'm supposed to see her today or tomorrow, and tomorrow won't work at all. So Krista was like, let me, I guess, get her in today if she's supposed to be here today or tomorrow, because tomorrow is impossible. So they scheduled me. I was able to use my lunch break to go, though the appointment took the longest any of my appointments will take because they needed to make me this fancy little doohickey that I have to wear. But in order to do physical therapy, I can't have any of the surgical stuff on. So they immediately took off all of my wraps. And then they were like, okay, you're just going to be unwrapped for a little while. We're going to go through your exercises. They're very minimal because I'm so, like, just out of surgery. So what's wild to me is I have this thing, which is supposed to keep my fingers from getting tired when they're, like, upright. So they're not, like, supporting themselves all the time, which is nice. But I have to do physical therapy at home every 3 hours roughly. So I'm supposed to do it like 4 times a day. And to do that, I have to take off this gauze and this tape. And I've already done it once today because I had to. Like, we got to the point where I was supposed to do it. Then I had to put new gauze and tape on. I'm just supposed to leave them gauzed and taped for now, because he said that they kind of need to do some stuff. I'm not going to get into it because it feels very, very overly detailed about my kind of sewn up fingers. The issue for me is that it's not pretty. It's fine. I have gotten used to looking at it at this point, but it is not pretty. Like, I could not show you my hand without getting, I think, immediately thrown off of YouTube because it is an active wound still. Like, there's still a wound for both fingers. They are as sewn up as they can be, but like, a lot of my tissue has to heal and grow back. So I basically have to do physical therapy. Again, this is all discussed. I was told what to do. I'm gonna have to do it 4 times a day, where I just look at my not fully skin covered appendages. So I have to undo them. It is very hard to get this stuff back on. This is fresh gauze and tape. They gave me some gauze. We had some gauze at home, and then they gave me a roll of med tape that I could use. But one-handed, it is very difficult. I can kind of use my index finger and my thumb to situate things a little, but it's still really hard. I go back in on Friday for both a follow-up. So I'll be doing physical therapy twice a week. I'll be doing... it kind of depends. We're trying to stick with Monday, Friday. Typically I have a ton of Friday appointments set up because Krista got moved to once a week. So they gave me all of her Fridays because she'll only go on Monday now. So I go back on Friday and I have another physical therapy appointment and I have a post-op appointment. So between then and now, I will have had to replace my gauze a number of times. I'll be putting a, it's not Neosporin, but it's bacitracin. I'll be putting that on it once a day. He said not to do it today at all because that stuff makes your skin very damp. And he was like, we need to get your skin kind of working. So once a day for that. I will only do it in the afternoon, I guess, is what they told me. So it's just very weird that I'm gonna have like uncovered active injuries 4 times a day while I'm doing my physical therapy, which is a little scary to me. He said it's fine. It's like, I just have to do it. It'll be okay. Apparently though, Friday, I may get surgical mesh or some kind of mesh. I don't quite understand. It's a thing you slide over the finger, I think to like reduce gauze usage. So I'll have something that like slides over it to keep it like contained, but like it, and I don't know if I'll have to take that off consistently, or if I'll get to leave that on and it'll still move normally. I don't know yet, but he said Friday I'll probably switch to this like mesh stuff instead, so that I won't have to do this whole process all the time. So yeah, that will be interesting. I also learned through sight, no one told me this, but apparently my baby nail that was saved on my ring finger, this is a little gross and I'm so sorry, but there's like a little teeny staple in it holding it onto my skin. I was like, oh my god, because I just noticed that today. Learning wild and new things. So yeah, it is very strange, very weird, but I have to do it. It's for the sake of my hand, because you do have to regain hand strength after all of this because your hand has gone through a trauma, so it has to relearn some like bending and like how it will function in its new state. It is hard, especially because like parts of my hand are very stiff from being like kept upright and because like they've been bandaged and like kept from moving, so it's a little hard. And it does hurt a little. I'm supposed to stop if it hurts. So like I did go kind of slow, eased through it, because I do have to, it's very minimal stuff. I have to do basically like 3 things where I hold parts of my hand for some of them and I try and make like I just kind of bend it. And then there's one where I have to try and make a fist with my hand. So it's like very basic stuff, and then I'm just supposed to slowly work on bending it back into a natural like upright position. So it's a little hard right now. Also it's very cold in my office and my hands hate being cold, so the hand being cold is not helping because it doesn't like that it's cold. But it is doing what it can. I'm doing what I can. I'm still on antibiotics and pain medication, so I am on stuff. So that's a plus. It's just so weird to me that I'm just in like little bits of gauze and I have this like contraption on my hand. I'm technically allowed to take this off when I sleep. I'm just not quite sure how that's gonna work. I don't think the dogs would intentionally do anything, but I am worried that this gauze would fall off, so maybe I'll have Chris help me put it on tighter at night or something. I don't know, but he was like, no, if you're just relaxing, leave it on, but if you're sleeping you can like take it off because your hand will be flat. So no, I don't know. I have to figure that out. Also I have a video too that like shows me what to do, and it's my completely uncovered fingers. So I basically have something that would gross a number of people out on my phone, and it's just my physical therapy routine. So yeah, it is a lot. I'm also wearing my Nevermore sweatshirt because it's comfy. But yeah, so that's the update on that. I did read a little bit of Shadow Kiss. I don't have the book, so like it's in the bedroom. I read a little bit before work because Chris had to be up super early. So I read a little bit while Parker hung out with me. And I got not super far in. I can tell you that Rose has graduated. Lissa has also technically graduated, but we only really saw Rose's graduation ceremony because the guardians have to do a big test, like a huge like physical test where they protect a fake Moroi from Strigoi. And she passed with flying colors. Her mom and her dad actually came. Her father even threw her a small party. And she's still trying to get information on how she can get to Dashkov, because Dashkov, who is the bad guy in the first book, is being held in prison like forever, and he is insisting that he can explain how you can turn a Strigoi back to who they were before. but only if he can be released. Did get verification that the idea would be that Dimitri would become a Moroi, or a Dampire again, Dumpire, whatever, that he would turn back. So he would just be what he was before. Don't exactly know how that's gonna work, but that is what Rose is trying to do. With all of this going on, we're also at Vampire Court, because all the vampires are kind of there for a little bit. There's like a ceremony for assigning guardians, so everyone is just at court right now. And then Brain, Adrian, who is the nephew, like the great nephew of the queen, is currently dating Rose. And oddly enough, the queen is fine with it, because she's just kind of like, well, they'll just date. Like, they're not getting married. Like, Rose isn't going to marry him. So it's very strange. But they have that going on. Christian and Lissa are still broken up. But they're both not really dealing with that very well. And that's as far as I got. I can't remember how far in I am. I'm in like the 70s page-wise, but it's very wild. And Rose is like kind of talking to a fictional Dimitri sometimes when she just like feels like it. Because she misses him. And then it just like, he's sending her like consistent letters to be like, I am waiting to find you and destroy you. And I'm like, so strange, so strange. But that is my update for you. I'm gonna go, we actually have to get groceries, very minor stuff, but I'm gonna go with Krista. And so I'll just be protecting my hand from the elements. I could stay home, but I told her I would come help. I also need to swing by the library, so I thought I would do that too. Again, it's cold. There's nothing I can really do about my hand being cold except trying to warm it up as best I can, but I'm gonna go. Also for my desk setup at work, I can type with my left hand. I was told I could use my index finger, but with this thing on, I can't actually hit my keyboard with it, so I can't. But I have my mouse set for lefties. It was an option for my specific mouse, so I switched it so that I can use it more easily with my left hand, and I'm typing one-handed. So doing what I can for work. But yeah, I just thought I would update you since it was the end of the day and it's easy to set you up right here because I never took my tripod off. So yeah, but I gotta go. I will talk to you later at some point, either about books, possibly about my hand. I don't think I'll post this, even though I wanted to get all the videos up in February. I don't think this is going up in February. I think this might wind up going up, I really do have to go, in March, but we'll see, because I kind of want to tell you how my post-op went. So maybe I'll get everything shoved together and then just like smash on an end clip and post it on the 28th late at night. I don't know. But I gotta go, gremlins. I will talk to you later. Hello, the lighting is not very good. It's way after work. We're about to eat dinner and I'm gonna change, but one, I wanted to show you my Ouija sweatshirt. I've worn this in other videos, it's very comfy. I was wearing my North Country Nightmares hat because we had to get Chloe and it was cold. And what are you focusing on that's on my face? Hi, hello, okay. So it was kind of a wild day. During my lunch break, we had to go get Chloe because she was getting x-rays done, so she's like super sore. But she's been limping a little bit and we just want to make sure everything was okay. But apparently her x-rays were perfect. So she's the picture of health. They do want her to lose 15 pounds because they said she's carrying a little extra weight, but she's in perfect health, which is really all that matters. No shadows, which would be very bad, and no signs of hip dysplasia, which is something that's common for Rottweilers. Like, that can occur, but perfect health. She's in perfect health. Also, we have named this Eric, because it kind of looks like the Phantom's mask, and that's his name. So I'm wearing Eric, and I have a super quick update on Spiritbound. We got to the point where they broke out Dashkoff, and wild. Broke him out. Super wild. And now they're headed to Vegas. So they were in Alaska and Lissa used a crap ton of power to get them. And so like her spirit power is way stronger than I thought. And on top of that, she can like charm objects a little bit now, which is very cool. They mentioned that was a thing in the last book, but Lissa's doing it now and it is wild. She did it to jewelry to like disguise them a little bit, but they have Victor and they're going to Vegas because that's apparently where his brother is, which is so strange, but very excited to read more. I just want to give you like a super quick update before I change. My hand is my hand. I told you about physical therapy. So I've been doing that. I'm still on the same meds I've been on, but yeah, so Krista surprised me with dinner. She brought home Wendy's. So we're gonna have Wendy's and watch some TV with Chloe while she recuperates. Shoot, I gotta get her, she has medicine too and I need to go get it. So I have to see if we're doing that now. But yeah, so I just want to give you a teeny tiny update on Spiritbound. I really want to finish this tonight/tomorrow so I can move on to the last book. We'll see how that goes. I may not finish the last book until March, which kind of sucks, but I mean, this sucks more. So I'm really not too pressed about it. But I do want to finish this. So we'll see what I can do. But I will talk to you later, gremlins. Hi. Yes, you have been at the exact same angle about 4 million times, and there's not really anything I can do about that right now because the easiest place to put you is either next to the bed or on my setup for work. And this is the easiest. So this is where you are. I wanted to tell you that last night I finished Spirit Bound. Look at that. I finished it. I finished it. I finished it. I finished it. Very proud of this. I finished most of the book, like, in a night. But oh my gosh, this book gets absolutely wild. There's a Strigoi attack while they're in Vegas. Dimitri reappears. We get the entire, like, this is how you turn a Strigoi back into a vampire, which actually sounds very violent and scary for both parties. Because basically the spirit user has to stake the Strigoi in the heart with, like, an enchanted silver stake. And I was like, the hell? Like, what? So Lissa is very fixated on turning Dimitri back. I'm gonna put this down. I'll have to put it in the bookcase. So she's very fixated on turning Dimitri back for Rose. So, like, that's going on. But of course, our escaped convict and his brother get away. Duh. I just assumed they would. So while all of that is going on, wild stuff is happening at court where it turns out that, like, apparently, like, there's like the big royal court kind of. So there's Queen Tatiana, who is Adrian's great aunt. She's, like, leading court, and Rose, like, gets in trouble and has to, like, talk to the court, but it's to explain, like, her Strigoi kills. And she's like, okay, that's really weird, but fine. She also gets in a ton of trouble for the Vegas trip because they just kind of lie and say, like, they're having a girls' weekend, and they're like, you can't do that. So she's being punished for taking Lissa off property. They also blame her for Adrian, even though he showed up later. So many things start coming up about Lissa's dad. Because he gets mentioned in Vegas, and I was like, well, that's interesting, because we haven't really talked about him at all. So, like, that gets brought up. Then we, like, are back at court. Rose is dealing with her punishment. She basically has to do a ton of, like, annoying like, manual labor that she doesn't want to do, and then filing. But while all of this is going on, Lissa is trying to get help to learn how to, like, stake a vampire. And Christian winds up with her. Sparks are kind of reignited, which is funny because he's a fire user. But there are more Strigoi attacks. Dimitri is at this other Strigoi attack. He kidnaps Lissa and Christian. And Rose is like, oh my god, no. Because he's basically like, Rose, I can tell you're in Lissa. Like, he's just assuming that she's in Lissa's head because Lissa was at this college. And he's like, I'm gonna hold them until you come to me. And so that's going on. There's a massive attack, a ton. There are, like, injuries. Guardians die. All of this is going on while, like, the court has determined that any guardian, like, even novice guardians, as of the age of 16 now instead of 18, will become actual guardians. Like, they won't finish school. They will graduate at the age of 16. And I'm like, the heck? Like, Rose is like, no, you can't do that. Like, so many people are going to die because they won't be trained enough. And so, like, that is going on where, like, the guardians will die even faster because they'll be young and untrained. Well, not trained enough. And then, like, oh my gosh, what are the other things? So much stuff is happening. Like, this book was jam-packed of just wild stuff. We learned that information about Lissa was stolen because Sydney shows back up, the alchemist. I think it's Sydney. Yeah. She wants to talk to Rose, and she's like, did you steal this? And she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, I didn't steal anything. She's like, oh, well, I thought you did because it's about Lissa, but dang, that's annoying. So, like, a bunch of stuff about the Dragomires is missing. And then all of this, like, okay, so Dimitri does get staked. Like, he turns back into a Moroi, or a vampire, and everyone's like, I don't trust this. And so, like, that's super weird. He, like, doesn't want to see Rose because he feels horrible for the things he did and the things he did specifically to Rose. And then, like, there's just a lot happening with their dynamic because he doesn't want to be in love with her anymore because he's like, I can't do this. Like, I like, was fixated on you. I almost killed you. So many things, like, with them. And Rose is getting pissed off because he, like, won't want to talk to her, won't want to see her. And he's like, I can't be around you. Lissa is, like, trying to heal him. Lissa also gets burned very badly because she and Christian set up this plan for the staking where he, like, makes a ring of fire. And Lissa literally has to, like, leap through it, like, to, like, and be in this fire, kind of. So she gets burned, but Adrian heals her, which is very cool because he's gotten better at healing. So many things. That's not even all of it, because then Rose is like, what is she even doing? She's, like, still doing her punishment. She does eventually get to see Dimitri, so they, like, do talk. We get to see, like, how things are going with them, kind of. Sorry. Then she gets arrested for the murder of the queen. And she's like, the fuck? I didn't kill the queen. What is going on? And it's obviously a frame job. And she even says that, which is kind of a problem, where she's like, obviously I'm being framed. Like, I'm not this dumb. Like, I would not leave my stake there. I would not leave fingerprints. Like, if I wanted to kill her, I would have, but I didn't want to kill her. And I'm like, no, she passed that thing about the guardians you didn't agree with, and you don't like her because she wouldn't let Lissa vote. And she's like, I wouldn't have killed her. My God. And then, while this is going on, her father shows up to be her lawyer. And he's like, oh, no, I knew you were going to go to trial, but also I just was like here, but I'm not going to let it go to trial because I am Abe and I will ensure that you don't. And she's like, what the hell is going on? Like, what? Then, on top of all of this, she gets a note from Tatiana that says Lissa has a step sibling or half sibling because her father had a mistress, probably, and probably in Las Vegas. So she has to go find this sibling because Lissa can only be a member of the Moroi royal court if she has like a second. Like, she has to have another family member. So she has to get one. And I'm like, this is wild. This book was just bonkers. Like, so many things were happening. There were Strigoi attacks. There was Las Vegas. There was Tatiana dying. There was Rose being arrested. Like, Abe showed back up. We got a Bloodline series that I'm still not going to read reference. Like, so many things were happening. And I was like, this is nuts. Like, it was the fastest paced book out of all of them. So now that means I'm on the last one, which is over here. So I'm on Last Sacrifice. I won't read you the description now, but I will talk to you later about it. I just wanted to fill you in. I'll try and give you a better camera, well, any camera angle besides this one, but it's just difficult. Also, I'm wearing my Salem shirt and I'm wearing this Common Love beanie that was like a free gift with our purchase, I guess, because neither one of us remembers ordering it. So it's comfy. It's a little tight for me, but it is keeping my ears warm. So yeah, but I gotta go. I will update you later about things. I may or may not get to the series in this vlog. I don't know. I'll see if Krista's feeling up to it. We're both super tired. Chloe wasn't feeling well last night, so she had to have x-rays, and so she was under anesthesia, and she's having a horrible reaction to the anesthesia. So yeah, we have actually, at this point in the day, she has already been to the vet again, and they gave her additional anti-nausea meds, an antibiotic because she's irritating her gut. Kind of like, if you didn't see the other video, she gave herself, well, she got an infection a little bit ago. She got like an intestinal infection. She like licked something or ate something that caused her gut to become inflamed. And so they're giving her like a higher grade antibiotic to calm her guts down because they're so irritated from like being sick. But she was very, very sick all night. So yeah, but she is sleeping now. She's gotten 2 different shots and she'll be on meds later tonight. We're also not allowed to feed her, which seems really mean, but the vet was like, no, with this level of bleh-ness, you can't feed her. Like, do not give her food, do not give her water. She's been eating snow a little bit, so she's had water today, but she can't actually have water in a bowl, and only like a little bit until like 9 o'clock tonight. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But I gotta go. I'll talk to you later, gremlins. That was my very rapid fire recap of Shadow Kiss, but talk to you later. This is possibly the world's worst angle. I don't really know where to put you. Yeah. Sure, there you go. Also not a great angle. But this spot looks so goofy because this is where the books actually sit, the Vampire Academy ones. So I had to move my Draculaura and Abby, oh my gosh, Abby Abominable to the floor just temporarily because they're like on a set. They're down here, you can't see them. But I wanted to read the description for Last Sacrifice. So we're gonna do that super quick. It all comes down to now. It's in bold. Lissa Dragomir is a Moroi princess, a mortal vampire with a rare gift for harnessing the Earth's magic. That would make me think she was Earth, because I think Earth is a thing. That's fine. Earth's magic, aka spirit. She must be protected at all times from Strigoi, the fiercest vampires, the ones who never die. The powerful blend of human and vampire blood that flows through Rose Hathaway, Lissa's best friend, makes her a dampire. I'm just gonna keep saying dampire. Rose is dedicated to a dangerous life of protecting Lissa from the Strigoi, who are hellbent on making Lissa one of them. It's not focusing on my face. There we go. The queen is dead, and the Moroi world will never be the same. Now with Rose awaiting execution and Lissa in a deadly struggle for the royal throne, the girls find themselves forced to rely upon enemies and question those they thought they could trust. But what if true freedom means sacrificing the most important thing of all? Each other! that's the description. This is a chunky boy. This is the chunkiest of the series, excluding the Bloodlines little excerpt that we get in every book. This is 588 pages, making it the largest Vampire Academy book. I do think I'm gonna try and read some tonight. So Chloe is just like resting in the bedroom. She didn't sleep like at all because she didn't feel well. So like they told us to give her these like pain meds. So she took those and fell asleep because they always make her fall asleep. But when she, like, once that wore off, and apparently the anti-nausea stuff they gave her while she was under anesthesia, then she got super sick and didn't sleep. So she like felt awful and wasn't sleeping. So she's been like napping off and on with, I think, all of our cats. So 3 of the cats rushed in to check on her at some point, and I just realized they're all in the bedroom. Like, I went to go check on her real fast, and I was like, you have all the cats. And I even think our littlest cat, who doesn't really like Chloe, which is not Chloe's fault, it's just Goosey's a little wary of dogs. I think she's under the bed. So like, there's just cats everywhere in there. But my thought was that since Krista has court tonight, she is, I don't know what time she'll get home, but the plan is to have Chloe upstairs like by herself so she can just rest, because she can't have food, she can't even have water until really late tonight, which I already told you. So like, we can't have her downstairs because the other dogs have food and water out. Like, we can't, they told us not to have her in a room even if there was going to be water out. So she didn't try and drink it because they're like, she'll just get sick. So yeah, so she's gonna be upstairs. We are gonna, like, she'll do outs and all those things, but like, she's just very tired. So I'm gonna hang out upstairs with her and probably read. So I'm gonna try and knock a chunk of this out. I would love to finish this on Friday. I would absolutely love it if I finish this on Friday. I also have I have PT and a post-op appointment, so I'll have updates about my hand. But I would love to finish this by Friday. It's just so big. Also, for some bizarre reason, whatever printing this was, there's a divot in the book because some of the pages, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, some of the pages are just like ridged. Like, the paper cutter cut them wrong. Like, they're just cut funny. Nothing's cut off at the bottom, but they're definitely too high. Like, the bottom margin was reduced down to like almost nothing. And the top margin has added like a few inches, or at least an inch. It's so strange. I've seen books do that before, but it's just odd. But I do want to finish this. I really do want to check out the TV series. I don't know if I want to watch the whole thing, but I would still kind of like to watch some of it. I don't know if we'll do that today. Maybe I'll see if Thursday Chris is up to like watching an episode or 2 after work just to see if we like it. And then I would finish it just in general when we have time. But yeah, we'll see. But I just wanted to read you the description because I haven't started it yet. And I will get back to you. I don't know. So yesterday, Krista surprised me with dinner and she got Wendy's. And I had a salad, but she was like, I didn't know if you'd want a salad or a burger, so I got you a burger. So I have a burger in the fridge and I don't know what we're doing for dinner. And I'm like, should I just eat the burger? What are we doing? Because like, the burger's not gonna be good tomorrow. Like, it'll be weird by tomorrow. I don't know, I'll ask her. Oh, I should have asked her earlier. I'll try and find a way to ask her, or I could just eat it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, they're over there. I also needed a snack. And I ate so many peanut butter and jelly M&Ms. I found them. I don't remember when. And I've eaten so many. They're really good. I've had so many of them. They're weird if you don't drink something with them though. So I was eating them with like while drinking coffee. They have a weird aftertaste if you don't like swallow liquid, like clear your palate or something, but they're still very, very good. I was really hungry and I'm tired. So, I mean, Krista's also exhausted and she has an upper respiratory infection. She's on meds now, but like, she's felt awful for a couple days and she was worried she had the flu, which we had the flu a little while ago. But she got tested and it's upper respiratory. So she'll be on meds for a while and I hope she has time to rest. Today, she definitely doesn't because she's the night court I already talked about. But Friday is really just my doctor's appointments now. Which sucks because one of them is really, really early, but it just is what it is. And we had taken that day off a long time ago just to have the day off. This was before this. So the day is now doctor's appointment day. Like, we were like, oh, like literally Krista was like, oh, you have that day off. You should just try and get them to schedule everything on Friday. So we like have me in a physical therapy appointment on Friday, and the post-op they made sure to have on Friday. So yeah, those are updates for now. I'm gonna go though. I will talk to you about Last Sacrifice when I get time. So I'll talk to you in a bit, gremlins. Hello, gremlins. I promise you are going to get a different angle, at least at the end of the video. Again, I'm very limited in where I can put the camera right now because I attached the tripod, and so I'm just like leaving the tripod on because it's not easy to put on one-handed. And I also just like, this is the easiest place to put you. I can put you on the cube in the bedroom, but I just finished work and I'd rather do this now so that it's good to go. So I have read mostly last night to page 301 of Last Sacrifice, which is chapter 19. And my good lord, I do not know how I'm going to describe, because I'm over halfway done now. I have 287 pages left, 288. Math, it's one or the other. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna put this down. Sit. There you go. Good lord. Okay. I hadn't told you like anything, I don't think, about this. So I did read you the description, so you knew that part. Obviously there was a jailbreak. We're not gonna have Rose in prison for an entire book. It would be very boring. So Rose gets they break Rose out of jail. That's how I'm gonna phrase that. So there is like a whole plan. She is very surprised. Every one of our key players is involved from the previous books. She gets out and then she's basically on the run. But Sydney is also there, the alchemist. And it turns out that Abe, her father, who like runs the alchemist from what I can tell. I don't know if there are other people involved. There have to be. But like Abe is very key to the alchemist. He has like told her she has to go and help Rose. So she's like the driver. She's doing all this stuff for Rose and Dimitri at a certain point. Dimitri is with her the entire time because the way the plan is working is that they're actually blaming Dimitri for her breakout. They're saying he did it, he worked alone, even though it was Lissa, Christian, Adrian, oh my god, so many other people were involved. But they're on the run, mostly so Rose is not around and the others can focus on trying to figure out who actually killed Tatiana. While all this is going on though, Rose is trying to figure out who Lissa's secret sibling is, who they are, how that works, because they're trying to make it so Lissa could be part of court, though in weird, odd, laws are written very poorly. There is like a contest to become the next royal to replace Tatiana. We also got Tatiana's funeral. There's a big competition that you're in, like there's a physical competition, there's some other stuff, but you can be nominated for the role of queen. Oh no, my battery is dying, which is a problem because I have to take the thing off. I will be quick. You can be nominated even if you don't have the quorum you need to be on court. So they get Lissa nominated to like really piss people off. She actually performs very well in the first competition, but while all this is going on, they have to track down Sonia Karp because somehow Sonia Karp is tied into this whole secret sibling of Lissa. So that happens. We also meet a group of people called the Keepers, and they're basically like vampire Amish. They live in the woods and they maintain the like baseline, this is what the Moroi do kind of thing. They live with humans, they live with vampires, it's a whole thing. But we meet them, it's very weird for Rose and also Sydney, but very interesting. We get that whole setup. Victor and his brother have shown up, and they're going to assist Rose and everyone else. I think that's everything for now. Lissa is doing great, and she's very, very smart, and I think she's going to be queen, but that's just a guess. I feel like that's where we're going with this. But I gotta go, I gotta charge this, I gotta figure out how to get this off. But that's where I am. I will fill you in more when I have more battery. Bye, gremlins! Hello! If you hear dogs barking, Bruni has decided to bark at any noise he hears outside right now. Chloe's up here, chilling. I already told you she went to the vet. She had a very poor reaction to the anesthesia, but she's feeling a lot better today. Yeah! She's hanging out with us for a little bit. Krista's about to take a nap, but I told her I was gonna film really quick. So, today is March 1st. I did not vlog at all yesterday, but I did finish Last Sacrifice on the 28th. So I finished all of Vampire Academy in February. So I had already told you I was about halfway through. The second half, so many things are happening and I don't want to spoil the end of the series for you. So I will say the coronation trials, very intense, like continue to go on. We do meet and bring to court Lissa's secret half-sibling. There's a big ending in the Viktor Dashkov plot that has been like progressing throughout the throughout the series. Rose and Dmitri, Krista has an upper respiratory infection and is not feeling great. So I will try and be quick for this final clip. So Rose and Dmitri do have to spend a lot of time together because they're on the run. And we really get that like, they are meant for each other sort of setup. Sonia Karp reappears, which was very cool. What else? Oh, Christian and Lissa do kind of make up. I won't say how much, but there was a bit of a makeup in that situation. Adrian has some setbacks. Let's see, we do get the reveal of who the murderer is, and it is Twisty. So what they do is they set you up with who they think it is, then like something occurs, they like really bring the alchemists into this, and then the alchemists give them a clue and they're like, oh, it's definitely someone. But they like lead you on for a little while and don't tell you, and then there's suddenly a huge reveal and it's very chaotic and there are just drama and people almost die, and it is a lot, but it was a really fun time. This one was really fun. I think the series overall was a very nice distraction from the stress of hand things. It was a fun series. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it if you want something fun. The cast is very white. All the characters in the book are predominantly white people, because it's like Russian, Romanian, like that's the whole setup. Like all the families are kind of from Europe. So they do a lot of like, like everyone is predominantly a white person. And I say this because we did watch the first episode of the Vampire Academy show, and they do try to be a bit more diverse in the casting of that show, but I don't like it. I love the casting aspect. I don't understand what they're doing with the TV series that they made. So if you watched it, like, if you finished it, like, let me know, because we watched the pilot and it is wild. Like, Dashkov doesn't have a kid, but he seems to have adopted 2 kids, and they've made Mia and Sonia sisters, and they're both teenagers. The queen is stepping down and is naming an heir. Like, it's so bizarre. And like, it does tie into all of the like stuff with the coronations and all of that, but like, they've definitely set it up that there wouldn't be a murder. And then like, Dmitri is Lissa's guardian and doesn't work for the school. They never went on the run, so Rose and Lissa never got their 2 years in Portland. Like, none of it makes sense. It's just very weird. Like, we were watching it and the whole time I was like, I don't like any of this. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I was like, I like the fact that there's an actor from Angel in it playing Viktor Dashkov. And I was like, oh, he would be cool as a villain. But like, I don't know his name. I can't remember his name. I just remember that he's in Angel. Gun. Yeah, that's his character name. He's Gun. He probably would be cool to see as a villain because that's still his setup, I think. It would have to be, I assume. But like, everything was weird. And like, the actress playing Rose was good. I would have watched more of her. The actress playing Lissa, pretty solid. But like, none of the plot made any sense. Like, I was like, you took all 6 books, slammed them together, it seems like, and then just like edited things to fit. Like, it was so weird and like super formal, and like the royals are way different than the common Moroi, and that's not in the books. Like, they're not split like that. There are the royals, but like, they go to school with regular Moroi who aren't part of the royal status. Like, it was so strange. So strange. There's a lot of costuming. There's a lot of parties that don't exist in this series, or they don't exist until later. And like, they've cut out the part where Lissa needs a quorum. So like, in that, they're like, I will just say, in the pilot of the TV show, the queen announces that Lissa is the new queen. Like, when I am done, Lissa will be queen. And everyone's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make any friggin' sense. So that was just weird. Like, just so bizarre. So I don't really want to watch the rest of the show. Maybe if there's nothing else to watch and I want to know how it ended because it got canceled after a season, I will. But like, I was just like, this is bizarre. And like, they didn't have them go on the run. Lissa apparently left school for 3 months and Rose didn't go with her. And I was like, the hell? That doesn't make any freaking sense. So I don't know. If you watch the show, let me know what you think, because I feel like they chose strong actors. Like, the woman playing Rose was doing really cool fight scenes. I was really into like what she was doing. Like, she was doing a solid job, but like, the setup was just bizarre. And so I don't know. I applaud them for trying to make it less all white people, but also like, they changed so many things that I don't understand why you would do that when, like, weirdly enough, it makes the movie seem like a better adaptation than the show, because the movie at least stuck to book 1 and that's all it was trying to do. This is like doing a weird ass thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical. I probably am, but still. But yeah, really, really enjoyed the series. This was very cool. I didn't throw any books across an IHOP. I just don't know what book that was. Maybe it was another series.
You said it was Twilight.
No. I didn't throw Twilight across.
You said you did.
No, I thought it was the first book of this series.
No, when you very first told me the story, it was a Twilight book because you couldn't stand Bella.
Maybe. But this was a very good series. I recommend if you just want a fun, campy good time with goofy romance and very early 2000s chaos. Yeah. So, very, very solid book series. I just don't want to spoil the final book for you because then I feel like I spoiled the entire series. So I'm not telling you that much, but this one was very fast, like super fast paced. And it does really like try and bring in the Bloodline series, but I'm not that invested in it. Like, I like Sydney, but I don't really care about what's going on with the Alchemist. So I'm not like, I don't really want to read that one. If you read Bloodlines and happen to be seeing this, if you read it, let me know if you liked it. Or if there's something I would get from reading it, because I feel like maybe Bloodlines continues after the end of this book, but I'm not sure, because in the author's like bio in the back, it says she's writing a new Bloodlines book. So I don't know if it kind of acts as like an extension of the series. I'm honestly not sure, but this was good. Quick hand update, just so you have it. Things are looking good. I am doing physical therapy twice a week. Then I have a follow-up appointment at the beginning of April, like as a final post-op, I guess, just to check and see how things are going. But the reason that it's a month out is because since I'm going to physical therapy twice a week, if they notice anything is off, there are PAs in the building, like in the offices, so the physical therapist can go get a PA to look at my hand. So it's more, you're already going to be in the office, so if something does happen or there's a concern that your physical therapist notices, then someone would just be brought in to look at me right away because they'd already be there. So that's why I get like a whole month where I just go to physical therapy twice a week. But yeah, that's what I have for you. Eric was adjusted, even though my pinky has decided that it just wants to stick up in the air. Apparently pinkies have, this is just what my physical therapist said. He was just saying pinkies have small finger syndrome, so they like attention. So my pinky keeps trying to stick itself up in the air while I'm wearing this. Don't ask me why. But it was adjusted because my pinky didn't really fit. But yeah, so I do physical therapy at home 4 times a day, roughly. And then swap out my gauze and stuff every time. So yeah, I feel like that's it. I don't know if this one's gonna be as long as the other part of this vlog, but that's fine. I may be reading more vampire books after this because there are a couple books that I have on audio that I wanted to listen to in February and didn't get to. So I think the next video may also be vampire books, but not Vampire Academy. So we'll see what I'm feeling. But I'm gonna go. Chris is gonna nap. I should swap out I should actually like do PT / swap out my gauze stuff. So I should go. But Vampire Academy was a very fun reading time. I'm really not going to watch a TV show, even though I feel like the acting would be good. I would just have to pretend it was not this book series, which would really hurt my brain. So yeah, so I will talk to you later, gremlins. If you have other series, I think I've asked this before, but other series suggestions, let me know if there's anything you'd want to see. I'm flexible for book schedule things. I have some stuff planned already, but not like a ton of stuff. So yeah, let me know if you have suggestions for other series or things you want me to read. And let's see, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more. I'm also on Instagram at CliffGoEverAfter, and I will talk to you later. Bye, gremlins.